Okay, here we go. It's another wonderful day trying to do the things that need to be done. I was so happy with myself because I thought that yesterday was my 7th video, which is my quota for the week. But it turned out that yesterday was my 6th and that you all are now witnessing my 7th. And so that means if I do a video today, 2 tomorrow, that puts me 3 ahead. I'm already in October in terms of recording. I've made it all the way to, I'm still in August and we're busting through October, which is a refreshing feeling. I would have to make it to, what is today? I know Monday's the 26th, so the day before it, the Sunday, would be the 25th, Friday the 24th, Saturday the 24th, Friday the 23rd, which makes today the 22nd. So if I busted through October 22nd, I would effectively be 2 months ahead. That is the kind of upload schedule that I would have to maintain in order to get through and be more ahead than I already am. I doubt that that's going to happen. I have a strong feeling that I'm going to have to keep this up until at least November, but the goal is to be done by October. And if I'm already in October, if I'm effectively 2 months ahead, and then by the time I get to October, I'll be in December. So that's not entirely impossible. If I keep this up and I keep pumping out extra stuff, I really wanted to load the month of October up with something a bit more entertaining and a bit more tasteful than what it already has. And so I'll have to see at that point what I need to do. But if I pump October up with videos that aren't necessarily just this, then I could probably get to November by the time September rolls around. And then if I just keep banging it out, I'll be done with December before too long. Because my goal is during the month of October to focus on what will be the next round of videos, and they will be better, more focused content. It'll be me telling a story and less of me just sitting in my car talking about whatever's on my mind. And then hoping that I can build a better audience off of the next round of content. I'll go through a mass deletion at the end of this year and get rid of everything that is part of this video series that's not worth being on my channel, or that is just not performing, which is a majority of them at this point. But that's okay. I've at least stayed true to the challenge that I set forth for myself, which was to upload a video every day. And I have accomplished that, or at least I'm en route to accomplish that. It feels very much so like I want to pull out, like, right now. And I'm not entirely sure that I will or that I won't, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to pull out. Like, I've made it this far. It'd be silly to quit. And, like, the easy way out would be like, oh, well, I know that I could if I wanted to, but I just don't feel like doing it anymore. But even though I don't feel like doing it anymore, still not doing it is a moot point. It's like I have to do it at this point. I have to finish it out. I have to say that I finished it. I can't just say, oh, well, I would have finished it if I wanted to. The bottom line is you did it or you didn't do it. And if I didn't do it, just because I said that I could have, doesn't necessarily mean that I did. So, it's a whole thing. I wish that it was a little more successful for me in the sense of getting what I wanted out of it, but seeing as how I did not get very much out of it, aside from like the few personal things that I would have wanted to get for myself, it's safe to say that I need to move on to something else and find a way to make that my measure of success, if you will. And that's fine. It's an evolution of the products. I want to really hunker down and focus in on Compression Man. I want to get that out into the world and get people watching that. But that takes time to build that audience and to get people watching it, to get people interested in it. And that's fine if that's something that I need to do. But realistically, for the most part, I really just want to start kind of building that audience and building that success and building some level of presence. And I don't know, it's wild to think that there's so many people out there in the world who haven't done and won't do half the things that I've done, and I can do all of these things and still just grind my gears against the nothingness of the world and just prove that, like, you can spend as much time as you want trying to do something and it could go just absolutely nowhere for you. And that's the unfortunate truth that I face, and I wish that I could break that cycle, and that I could find some magic bullet, and that I could acquire a system that is actually building me into an individual that people care to see. And part of it is that I am not playing by YouTube's rules, and I've said that a great many times, but it's just like any business, really. And like at work, if you want to climb the corporate ladder, you've got to play the corporate games. If you want to climb the YouTube ladder, you've got to play the YouTube game. And I'm not playing the YouTube game. I'm not playing any sort of game, really. I've got this original concept that I think is funny that I want to share with the world. And I've got to find a way to make it stand out from the rest of the world's worth of content, because there is tons of content in this world, and more content than any single individual could watch in their entire lifetime if they started at birth and were kept healthy and did nothing but watch content for the entirety of their existence. They would still not see it all. And I wonder what fraction of the world's media would they be allowed to consume in the event that they literally did that. And it's wild to think that it would be a fraction of it, not even the whole thing. It's like you wonder, like silent films, how many silent films existed in the world? Because when mass production of films became a thing, like, I feel like even before the invention of home video, like, how many films were produced, like back in the 60s and the 70s. And I'm not saying that they did or didn't make a lot of movies back then, but I was just curious because that predated, and like, It's wild to think about how much of a splash in the pan home videos were. Like, home video became a thing in the 80s, and it's stopping to become a thing here in the 2020s. And so one could say that home video had a 40 to 50 year life cycle run in modern media and society, but in the grand scheme of things, that is a very short-lived run. Like books, for example. Books have been around for a very long time, and people are still reading books. Like, they're not the sole source of entertainment. Obviously, audio-visual content trumps books in most every way. Heck, even audio books trump books in most every way. But there still exists a medium that is being consumed that is something that is as old as just writing books. And making movies and filming is an old medium, but I don't think it's nearly as old as literature. I guess if you go back to like plays and stuff, it might be a closer battle, but this truck needs over, and then I need back over, and now this person's slowing down. There's a person on the side of the highway. This is wild. Oh my goodness. Today, I chose the wrong time to get in here today, apparently. But yeah, it's interesting to look at it. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I will always strive to be able to watch the DVDs and buy DVDs, and I think that is the superior way to absorb your media, is through the means of owning it, because then you can enjoy it at your leisure. You don't have to worry about, oh, which one of these 12 streaming services do I have to have in order to watch this movie that I all of a sudden in the mood to watch now. You can just say, hey, I want to watch this movie. I'm going to pop it in and watch it. And that's interesting to me. It's a fascinating and interesting situation to be in. And you can own movies digitally, but they're probably about just as reliable as a DVD, because like the chances of someone damaging a DVD is pretty low. Like, you have to really mistreat that thing in order for it to get scratched to the point where you can no longer see whatever is engraved on it. The chances of one honestly losing a digital file is also probably just about the same chances. It's the idea of the lack of ownership, I think, that really does bug people. Will any given media company, for any given reason, just take your digital files away? Probably not. But it's the fact that they have the ability to do so, I think, that bothers people more than anything. And but it doesn't bother that many people, because that's the other reality that we exist in, is there is far more people who are unbothered by these things than those who are bothered by those things, and that mass majority of people is the one ruling the market. The reason why DVDs and things are going away is because people stopped buying them. If DVDs were selling the same amount that they were, or more so, even after the advent of streaming, then yeah, we would probably be in a different boat right now. But the fact of the matter is, streaming is here, DVDs are gone to the wayside, and it's very interesting to me. I feel like I'm hearing something, and I don't know if it's, I think it's one of the car radios outside. I don't think it's my phone. But yeah, it's interesting to think, like, what would the world be like right now if DVD sales or Blu-ray sales or what have you still exceeded that of streaming services. Like, would people still be pulling DVDs from their shelves? Because that's the other thing, is like, shelf space is valuable, and if your shelf is not providing value, then they're going to find something else to put there that will provide value. And that's what a lot of these stores are yanking DVDs from their shelves, and that has started this year. And so it's a frightening thing, because that's the beginning of the end. When retailers stop selling any given piece of media, it becomes harder to acquire that media, which also then means it becomes more niche to continue to buy it, which means it's like, is it worth investing the money in a physical release of your product if it's only going to sell through these few channels? And I wonder that a lot about a lot of these musicians and stuff who still sell CDs and vinyl and stuff through their websites. I wonder how many sales they actually get. Like, is it in the thousands even? I don't know how many fans these people have, like how many followers. You can probably just judge on the amount of followers, and the number that I keep getting given is 6%. They're like, you can probably guarantee that 6% of your followers will be considered to be true fans who will actually financially support you. And so, like, 6% of 1 million, is that 6,000 or is that 600? I'm terrible with math, if you can't tell. But either way, that's still a good chunk of people. And so the idea then would be to amass enough people to where your 6% number is enough that you can do something with. And then hopefully the media continues to be fruitful for you, and you can continue to get what you need out of it. But all that is to say, I don't know what my future Compression Man growth looks like. I'm gonna potentially get removed from the ability to advertise myself on there. And so if that happens, then I need to prepare for what am I going to do next, because I've leaned pretty heavily against being able to advertise myself. And if that goes away, then how do I get known? But it's also important to note that, like, I can't continue this pay-to-win strategy, because that's what I've been doing, because I've just been throwing money at these different ad campaigns, hoping that one of them becomes beneficial for me. And until that happens, or until that day comes, I don't even know. But thanks for stopping by. I hope it was a good conversation for you. I thought it was pretty good for me, and we're going to try and finish this year out strong and then break boldly into the next one.